Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. It's myself and Lee Judges here at the Emirates. We're literally off the back of a 1-0 victory. North London derby for the women. Arsenal 1, Spurs 0. Get in there, Russo.
Yeah, get in there. It's always nice to beat Spurs at any level. And 1-0, should have won by more. Played well today, but yeah, a great atmosphere. And yeah, 1-0. We'll take that though. Any result against Spurs is good. Come on.
100%, mate. Listen, it's great to see so many people here as well, Lee.
Unbelievable. It's great to see like all families, all children, all that. You know, next generation of Arsenal fans watching games and all that, like, and loads of families and all that. It's a different atmosphere in it to you know, like a North London derby.
Yeah, of course. North London derby with the men, but it's great to see like the amount of people that are here and great attendance and a great day out for the family.
Yeah, that's what you want. Like, you know, everybody, like, families having a really good time, and yeah, and I quite enjoyed it, I have to say, like, you know.
Absolutely. Listen, we're going to talk on the Manchester derby, which hasn't kicked off yet, and of course Arsenal's preview. This is for the Sheffield United game, but I will mention yesterday's Liverpool performance, League, because that was frustrating to say the least. A Darwin Núñez header in the 99th minute of 98 minutes of extra time. Controversially.
Yeah, look, listen, all credit to Liverpool. They kept going at the end, like, you know, and got the result that they probably didn't deserve. I thought the draw was a fair result, but their goalkeeper, Forest goalkeeper, made a couple of very, very good saves. But 1 minute to go, it goes. They stop the game because there's or they think there's a head injury. I get that. But then the referee makes the cardinal mistake. I can't understand. At that level, a referee, Tierney, should not make a mistake at that level and give the ball to Liverpool. And I don't know why it was allowed to be done like that. You know, for me, he's then giving out red and yellow cards to players for arguing and all that. He needs a red card himself. I want him banned, because you cannot make any excuses for that refereeing decision like that to happen.
Listen, taking nothing away from the Liverpool goal, you know, Alexis McAllister, unbelievable ball. A player I do think has been very overlooked this season. I think he's been fantastic for Liverpool. Great header from Darwin Núñez, but that could be so pivotal for Nottingham Forest. It could be so pivotal for the title race, and referees don't understand that, Lee. It's just another day for them. Exactly,
that point could be the end. That could cost Nottingham Forest their Premier League status. You have to get things like that right. Listen, I get it right. I can get it. I understand it when certain decisions can go 50-50. Was it a penalty? Wasn't it? Whatever. But that is stonewall, so obvious that what you do. It's a basic error, and you can. I'm sorry, you cannot be having basic refereeing errors at the Premier League at the highest level. Yeah. You know, in Sunday morning football, the referee gets that right. You know, so him to not get that right in a Premier League game, and I understand all the players and that being upset afterwards, because there's livelihoods at stake. You know what I mean? Like, players want to be playing in the Premier League and all that, like. And for a referee to do that, I'm sorry. You know.
Listen, best league in the world, worst officials in the world. I have to say it. I'm shocked every week that we see it, but I don't know why I am, because it just keeps happening. Let's touch on Chelsea very quickly, because there's a lot of Chelsea fans out there that are all arguing with each other. I'm here for it. It's good to see. However, there's a lot that are saying that Pochettino is to blame. There's a lot that's saying that the players aren't good enough. There's some that are a little bit in between. But if you have to ask me brutally, honestly, I think this is a case study of how not to run a football club, Lee.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. You know, I've heard like Chelsea fans going on about Pochettino and that. You know, Pochettino run a bigger club, by the way, than Spurs. Was a manager of a bigger club with young players, Harry Kane, Dele Alli, got them performing. Why can't he get Modric performing and the likes? You know what I mean? Like, by the way, like, Jackson is a hit and miss sort of a striker at this moment in time. But like, they've got good young players there. Like, you know, Caicedo, by the way, is something I wouldn't pay 30 million for him now. Like, you know, but I was a player that I desperately wanted to see at Arsenal. Like, but I wouldn't have him now. Like, you know, so it's not just the manager; it's the culture, everything, like the scattergun of buying players and everything like that. You don't do that. You've got to build it up properly, like other clubs do. And listen, I don't care. Good luck to you. You know what I mean? You're 10th. I remember them mocking us when we was 10th.
When we were down in 8th and Arteta.
Mocking us, like, you know what I mean? But we was never as bad as that. So, like, but listen, you know, Chelsea fans, you know, they've been spoiled over the last 20 years. Where they are now, it's about right. It's about right. There you go.
Love to see it, man. Just quickly, lastly on that, Caicedo and Modric were two players linked with us last January. We ended up with Jorginho and Trossard. And I remember a lot of Arsenal fans deflated, and I was one of them, Lee. I sat there and I thought, is that really what we want going to a title? And listen, it wasn't enough to go to a title, but if you look at the comparison of what the value is for money now, doesn't look like bad business, Lee.
No, like, listen, and if Caicedo would have come to Arsenal, you don't know what you're going to get under this current regime. Like, look how Declan Rice has flourished. So I feel for him. I honestly do feel there are probably two players, if I'll be really honest, that don't really want to be there. I never really wanted to be there. Wanted to be somewhere else. Like, do you know what I mean? But that's the case of it is. But listen, I was a little bit deflated. We never got Caicedo, but at the end of it, the two players that we've got, they've contributed very, very much in not just with Arsenal winning games of football and all that, but they're not probably like regulars. They're in and out, and they're very, very good players for what we needed. You know, if you'd have brought in Modric at £100 million and he wasn't playing all that, what sort of pressure would have that done? So I think at the end of the day, we come out all right in it.
We have done. Listen, Manchester derby next hasn't kicked off yet. Kicks off later on this afternoon. Man City huge favourites at the Etihad. Manchester United severe problems at the moment. More injury worries, and a lot of people, including the neutrals, Lee, are tipping Man City to absolutely hammer them today. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, well, as we say, by the time this comes out, we'll know. But I'm going to say that I think Man City will win this quite comfortably. They're at home. It's a difficult place to go to for any team, let alone poor Man United team without probably their striker who's their top player. So, listen, it ain't really about what they do today. It's about what we do tomorrow, and against Brentford, and then of course them two teams clash next week. So it'd be interesting. But I suspect that by the time we go to Sheffield tomorrow, we'll be 5 points away from Liverpool and 4 from Man City.
100%. Let's talk about that game. It's a nice segue into it. Team news, Lee. There's a lot of rumours that our players are coming back to full fitness now. We look at the likes of Tomiyasu and Timber, who are not quite there yet, and Zinchenko and Jesus and Partey are a little bit closer. This is great news for Arsenal moving into what will be a very, very important game on Monday night. Team news, what are you doing with the team? We've seen here at the Emirates that Jorginho comes in and Havertz plays in the 9, but away from home we've seen Jorginho out of that side, Rice in that 6, and Trossard and Havertz interlinking away from home, which worked at Burnley and West Ham. So what's he going to do tomorrow night, Lee?
Oh, do you know what? I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. If I say he's going to do one thing, he'll do another. Like after the game last week, I think Jorginho's got to start. If I'll be really honest, so I'll play Jorginho tomorrow. But if he plays Havertz and Trossard in that role, it wouldn't surprise me. I think that's the good thing about Arsenal at this moment in time, is that if we don't know what team he's going to pick and what system and that, the other coaches don't and all that, so they can't actually plan exactly the whole week. They're going to have to go, do you know what, we're going to have to plan for Trossard in there, and then next day we're going to have to plan for Havertz in there. For me personally, I thought it was a sensational performance last. That first half last week was the best I've seen for a very, very long while. Jorginho was instrumental in that, so I'd keep him in there. What would you do?
Listen, I kind of the other way to you really. I think away from home, it's been working with Trossard and Havertz. At home, it's been working with Jorginho and Havertz in the 9. And I don't see why we would change things. I don't think we need Jorginho against Sheffield United away. I'd like to see us go for it and try and put 4-5s past teams like that we have done against Burnley and West Ham. So I feel like it will be probably more suited towards Havertz and Trossard with Rice in the 6. But you never know with Mikel Arteta, he can change things up. What I would like to see, Lee, is players coming back on the bench now.
Yeah.
And our bench starting to look a bit stronger than just flinging on Reece Nelson and Eddie Nketiah and hoping for the best. Because if you can actually have a bench now with Thomas Partey on it, you have a bench with Jorginho on it, you have a bench with the likes of Zinchenko coming back, Timber coming back, Tomiyasu coming back, you start to look at the bench all of a sudden, it looks a hell of a lot stronger, Lee.
Yeah, and that gives you the confidence. I know that sounds silly, but it does give you a bit of confidence, going into those games. And I felt like that's what we need. And I'll be very, very happy if Partey comes on in the last 10, 15 minutes. Listen, I agree with what Mikel has said. If Arsenal are going to win this league, we're going to need everybody. But as you say, if you've got all those players back, Smith Rowe on there as well, Tomiyasu, all of a sudden, even Ramsdale on the bench side, that is
Fabio Vieira as well.
Fabio Vieira, that is some strength in depth. of a bench and so, and that will give us confidence going on there that if things are not going right, we can change it, and also see out games. You know what I mean? Like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes from the end, if we're winning tomorrow, bringing on the likes of Thomas Partey and etc. is going to be good, and that's what we need. We need to be really going. I don't say full strength, but nigh on full strength with that squad if we're going to compete with the other two.
Listen, just quickly on that before I get some predictions from you for the game. Mikel Arteta has made it quite clear that he's going to try and manage carefully some of the players in this squad, and I'm talking about the likes of Yuri Simba when he comes back, Tomiyasu, who's been struggling with injuries since he joined Arsenal, Zinchenko and Jesus, who've had knocks at Arsenal, and of course Thomas Partey. Let's talk about that. I mean, how important is that going towards the back end of the season, that we do keep the likes of Partey fit, that we do keep the likes of Jesus fit? Because we're going to have big games coming up, Lee, against Man City, against Spurs away, United away, and we haven't actually gone into many of those games in the last couple of years with a fit Thomas Partey, a fully fit side, one that we believe we can give their all against the Man City side. Let's be honest, is really, really strong. So how important is that, mate?
Yeah, listen, that's a great point. And the other thing, we haven't mentioned Jesus. Now we have, but 10, 15 minutes from the end, say if it's 1-0, we're 1-0 up, 1-0 down, drawing and all that, you're bringing him on. You know what I mean? And you're bringing Thomas Partey on, that's what you need, that sort of depth of player to come in there, So I think it's vital. And I can tell you this now, with 10, 15 minutes to go at not White Hart Lane, Tottenham Stadium, or the Etihad, or wherever we are, 10 minutes to go from the end, 10, 15 minutes, or even 20 minutes later in the end, I think you're going to be a little bit more frightened if Jesus is coming on, raring to go. That is what we've got to get, So I'm optimistic. Look, listen, I think last season the injuries cost us a little bit. So hopefully now we've got these injuries coming back. Thomas Partey we haven't seen since October, Dan. You know what I mean? Like new signings, we're unbelievable. We've not seen him. I'm going to have to take a photo just see what he looks like. But we need those players in there. We need to get these players fit. And listen, it's going to be an exciting couple of months now. Come on, this is what we've wanted. This is what we've got, wanted for the last few years. So you've got to enjoy it.
100%. Listen, we ain't got much of a busy March, but we've got an important March. That's for sure.
That's
we've got
a great point.
Sheffield United away, Brentford at home, Manchester City, and of course Porto in the Champions League as well, which is massive for March. And I think that we will know where we're at the end of this month, won't we, Lee?
Well, yeah, when you put it like that, we are. It's a massive March, isn't it? That is 4 games of, will define our season in a 5-week month. So the one good thing about it is we're not going to be overstretched with games, but my God, they're important. And seriously, I think if we're going to be anywhere winning a title, we need to win 3 of them and draw 1 of them. You know which one's the draw, you know what I mean? So, but there you go. So it's going to be a tough month, but a good month as well.
Listen, absolutely, it's key. Listen, lastly, let you get a score prediction for Monday night. I've gone 3-0 Arsenal. What are you going with?
I'm saying the same, and that's not me being arrogant. I think when you look at Arsenal, if Arsenal are on the form that they are and play like it should be quite comfortable. Sometimes it don't work out like that, we know, but we've also got to look at it, Dan. We've got 2 games against teams in the bottom half of the table, and that goal difference is a big key. Liverpool got, I think, level with us now on goals, so we need to, now own that advantage as well, So
Man City, depending on today as well, could catch up with us.
Of course they could, So we need to really nail it home. Look, listen, if you said to me, look, we're going to win it 1-0, I'll take it. The 3 points is more important,
100%.
But if we do get in front, I want to see us really ram it home, because it's not about demoralising Sheffield United and blah, 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 blah. It's about getting the goal difference up for us and that. So I'm hoping that we can get 2 or 3 tomorrow.
100%. Listen, there you have it, people. Make sure you join us in the chat. Let us know your team news. Let us know your score predictions. We'll be back. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.